Barry Gibb's life didn't start in velvet seats or spotlights. It began in a cramped kitchen where coins were counted on a table and his mother prayed the pot would stretch one more night. Born September 1st, 1946, he had no silver spoon, only a drummer father, Hugh, who returned home at dawn with sore hands and empty pockets, and a mother, Barbra, whose tenderness and determination held a family together. At 2 years old, a household accident left Barry with severe burns. He survived against odds, his tiny body marked with scars, a first taste of the resilience he would carry forever. Childhood shadows. By age 4, Barry faced a darkness beyond physical danger. Words he shouldn't have heard from a stranger left psychological scars that no one could bandage. Though he was never physically harmed, the fear and shame lodged deeply in his mind. The family moved repeatedly: Chapel House, St. Catherine's Drive, Snell Road in Manchester. Not destitute, but unsettled. Through this instability, Barry discovered a constant sound. Hugh drummed relentlessly at home, and Barry hummed melodies alongside his twin brothers, Robin and Maurice. Music became refuge. Around the kitchen table, the three boys wove harmony as a lifeline, unknowingly preparing for the world stage, the Rattlesnakes, and early ambitions. By 1957, Barry was 11, leading his brothers in the Rattlesnakes, singing Buddy Holly and Everly Brothers tunes. Performances weren't about fame, they were about survival. One night, his guitar broke, but he and his brothers pressed on, grit and rhythm driving them forward. A year later, the family embarked on a bold journey aboard the Fair Sea, emigrating to Australia under assisted migration. Redcliffe offered no golden welcome, just dust, heat, and car races. But the boys sang between races, honing their craft. People listened. Barry's voice, raw and urgent, began to carry their story. Survival set to 3-part harmony, a promise that music would always hold them together. Teenage choices. At 15, Barry faced a choice that would shape his life: education or family survival. He chose music, filling notebooks with lyrics while other boys completed exams. Festival Records offered a contract, though dismissals followed. Yet his pen refused to quit. By 1966, he was a recognized songwriter and performer. Small trophies bore massive meaning. The boy, with burns and a backbone, now had a voice that demanded attention. London called in 1967, and under Robert Stigwood's guidance, the Bee Gees arrived as a force. New York mining disaster, 1941, haunted the charts, mistaken for the Beatles, signaling that the brothers' harmonies were more than entertainment. They were prayer, survival, and art. Brotherhood and tensions. The success of the Bee Gees wasn't without strain. Decisions over songs like 1st of May exposed fault lines between Barry and Robin. Ego and love collided. Barry tried solo work with I'll Kiss Your Memory, but it didn't succeed. Yet, the brothers always found their way back. Blood and harmony spoke louder than pride. Through disagreements, personal ambitions, and touring fatigue, they learned that the same gift that bound them could also cut deep. Every song carried this tension, the highs and lows of brotherhood woven into falsettos and melodies. Family, not fame, remained the true center of Barry's life. Falsetto and Global Fame Miami, 1974, marked a turning point. In the studio with Arif Mardin, Barry discovered the falsetto that would define him. What began as experimentation became resurrection. Hits followed: Jive Talkin', Nights on Broadway, You Should Be Dancing. Then came the phenomenon, Saturday Night Fever. 40 million copies of a soundtrack turned dance floors into altars of energy, and Barry's voice carried the electricity of generations. He wrote for others too: Barbra Streisand, Dionne Warwick, Kenny Rogers, and Dolly Parton. He gave the world a fountain of melodies, yet the same public that adored him could quickly turn. The fallouts would test him in ways charts never could measure. Betrayal and resilience. The disco backlash hit hard. Records were smashed, DJs sneered, and Barry's falsetto was mocked. Yet he continued writing, quietly, fiercely. He poured scars into songs and faced audiences that sometimes rejected him. Public validation proved fragile, but his craft endured. Tragedy compounded with the loss of his younger brother Andy in 1988. At 30, Andy's death hit Barry like a physical blow. Phone calls, sessions, rehab, and prayer couldn't bring him back. The family, already marked by earlier traumas, grieved openly, each member navigating sorrow differently. Barry, the eldest, the anchor, had to reconcile love and loss without a roadmap. Enduring loss became a defining rhythm in Barry's life. Hugh, the father who had kept the family afloat with calloused hands, died in 1992. Barry had experienced both forms of devastation, a fallen star and a fallen foundation. In 2003, Maurice's sudden death in a Miami hospital struck again. He was 53, and the chemistry that had defined the Bee Gees evaporated in an instant. Barry replayed every sequence, every song, every harmony, seeking a trace of what had been. Music, once a lifeline, became a mirror of absence. Yet, amidst grief, he continued to sing, to write, and to honor the lives of those who had shaped him. Love and family. Throughout these trials, Barry found salvation in love. Linda Gray, a Scottish beauty queen, became his anchor in 1970. She raised 5 children while guiding him through fame and fatigue, drawing firm boundaries against the temptations that had claimed others. Linda's steadfast presence saved him in moments of despair, including after Robin's funeral. Barry had learned early that public success was fleeting. Love, family, and loyalty were what endured. His first marriage to Maureen Bates in 1966 had ended quietly, without scandal, a youthful lesson in responsibility and commitment that prepared him for the steadfast partnership he found with Linda. Sanctuary and reflection. Miami became sanctuary. North Bay Road offered a view of Biscayne Bay. Guitars lined walls like trophies. Yet Barry remained grounded. Wealth was measured in Rolls Royces and Bentleys, but meaning lived in melodies. He gave back quietly, supporting disaster relief, diabetes research in Andy's name, and animal welfare. He avoided lectures and publicity stunts. Music remained his therapy. Writing, recording, and performing were acts of preservation as much as expression. Survival, he realized, wasn't triumph. It was endurance. And endurance required love, consistency, and courage. Qualities Barry had honed since the kitchen table where his childhood began. The last witness. Barry became the last witness to a harmony once shared among 4 brothers. Andy's velvet, Maurice's grounding presence, Robin's ethereal tone, and Barry's fire now existed in memory. When songs like Stayin Alive or How Deep Is Your Love play, they carry more than nostalgia. They carry the echo of scars, resilience, and family devotion. Barry, once the youngest boy with burns and uncertainty, now shoulders the story of survival, music, and love. He walks the shoreline, plays in studios, and hums at home, carrying the voices of the past while nurturing the present. His life, steeped in song, is proof of endurance and devotion, legacy and testimony. Barry Gibb's story is not just one of fame or music, it is testimony. He survived childhood trauma, fires, abuse, relentless touring, and the deaths of loved ones. Yet, through every trial, he found strength in family, in love, and in music. Fame faded, friends and brothers were lost, but melodies remained. He teaches that life's worth is measured not in applause, but in the bonds we nurture and the scars we honor. Every note he sings carries the weight of survival, the depth of grief, and the tenderness of family. Barry Gibb continues, a living testament to resilience, devotion, and love.